One of our more popular requests was to pit the Asus Zenfone 3 against the Samsung Galaxy C7. Mabuhay Manila, this is Drew from ManilaShaker.com, and this is our phone-off between the Samsung Galaxy C7 versus the Asus Zenfone 3. The biggest comparison in the Android mid-range race is perhaps between these two phones. Asus took a step into the premium budget line, while Samsung is making the beefier options for the mid-range market. Which one is a more compelling Android for you? Let's find out. Either phones updated their aesthetics from last year, where the Zenfone 3 veered away from plastic and went full glass held together by a metal band, compared to the Galaxy C7 that opted for full rounded metal finish. Zenfone 3's choice to replace the micro USB into the USB-C is an advantage, but still borrows 2.0 speeds instead of the standard 3.0. Similar to the Zenfone series, the Galaxy C7 and C5 have LED notification, which was previously reserved to high-end Samsung devices at first. Either contenders support hybrid dual SIM trays, with option for micro SD card expansion and snappy fingerprint scanners, which, to note, can be found embedded on the home button for the Galaxy C7, flanked by non-customizable capacitive navigation keys, and it's the rear placement for the Zenfone 3, paired with the traditional non-backlit capacitive keys of last year for navigation. The full metal build of the C7 maintained a thinner and heavier form factor over the Zenfone 3's slightly shorter and squarish feel. We liked either design aspects since they both bring something new to the table and feel solid and premium. It's a battle of IPS LCD over Super AMOLED in the display department. About half of our test sample liked how Samsung produced vivid images, and the other half liked the color accuracy of Asus' choice for a flagship display. With about a 0.2 inch of difference between the two, there's not much to contend since either displays are sharp and bright. You guessed it, it's a tie. Both these phones pack a 16-megapixel main camera setup, where the Galaxy C7 branches off at having a wider lens opening, while the Zenfone 3 gains optical image stabilization. Shooting in daylight is a hit or miss on both devices, where Samsung's version are always saturated and overexposed, with satisfactory dynamic range and noise control. Asus' version of the same images remains true to color rendering and mild control of dynamic range. Details and over-sharpness are comparable between the two apart from taking shots in low-lit scenarios, giving the Zenfone 3 a slight edge with better color reproduction, detail handling, and noise control. Selfies are the same in any Samsung device, with pale and post-produced images with apparent smoothing to smudge out facial blemishes over the Zenfone's sharp and accurate representation of the same face. One big leap for the Asus Zenfone 3 is the capability of capturing 4K videos assisted by 4-axis optical image stabilization, but overall video quality is more favored over the Galaxy C7's saturated version at 1080p. It's not a close call, but if quality of videos and images matter for you, Zenfone 3 wins in this category, packing a better camera setup overall. Powered by the exact same Qualcomm Snapdragon 635 octa-core chipset paired with 4GB of RAM, there's no competition in the processing department. Either phones handled demanding tasks and graphic-intensive apps with ease. There's a tiny gap in benchmark scores, which is probably due to TouchWiz UI and Zen UI containing bloat that can slow some aspects of the OS. The extra 300 mAh capacity of the C7 gives it some ground in the endurance department over the Zenfone 3's 3000 mAh juice pack. There's about a few hours of extra standby time plus some minutes and change of screen on time. Either way, both units came out lasting a full day's use. Adaptive fast charging gave the C7 another small lead, topping up at 1 hour 35 minutes, which was 10 minutes faster over the Zenfone 3. The Samsung Galaxy C7 wins endurance and power longevity by a hair. The Zenfone 3 supports 24-bit high-resolution audio playback through the 3.5mm jack, while the mono speaker outputs crispier and better treble and bass over the Galaxy C7. for this round, the Zenfone 3 wins. Retailing at 17,000 to 18,995 pesos or roughly $400. The Zenfone 3 is a few thousand pesos cheaper than the Galaxy C7. It will set you back a whopping 20,000 pesos or $430 for its 64GB model available online before taxes. A quick recap will remind you that focuses towards design, performance, and display are close to almost negligible, whereas the camera setup and audio playback lean towards the Zenfone 3, and battery endurance, if slightly, on the Galaxy C7. It was a tough decision, but the Zenfone 3 won it for us in this phone off considering price and some key advantages overall. Consider also that the Galaxy C7 has not reached our shores, so getting one will require shipping plus taxes. Which phone is looking good as your next daily driver? Give us a shout out on the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit that like button to let us know if you want to see more videos like this. Subscribe to get more of the latest in tech from ManilaShaker.com. Once again, this has been Drew. Mabuhay, Manila.